Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. 3 familiar faces here at the round table. So, gentlemen, let's get it started. Round table. Introducing first, 6:10 a.m., the sports animals, James Lemieux. When can people catch you?
Well, as of right now, 5:35's on Thursday. That's our weekly MMA and boxing segment. But keep your ears tuned. We've got some stuff in the works, and we're going to have some more time to chat all sports.
Yeah, great to have you here as always, man. To his right, Ed Nunez, 6:10 a.m. as well, on the mic with Mike Adams on the weekend. When can people catch you?
Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Great, thank you very much.
show.
To his right, 95.9 FM Sports. It's kind of hard for me to get used to the new station, but nonetheless, Cage Minds MMA's Michael Frankel. Welcome.
How you guys doing?
And when can they reach you? Or
We're on
you,
11 to noon on Saturdays.
All right. Well, welcome all 3 of you. We have 3 pretty good topics, I think. So let's jump right into them. UFC 190 this weekend. Ronda Rousey versus Bethe Correia. I like to call her Beth, Americanized, of course.
Beth.
Yeah. Predictions. Rousey's a 16-1 favorite. The fight's happening in, all right, of course, Correia's country of Brazil. Mike, I'm going to start with you, man. What are your predictions for this fight?
Destruction, devastation. You could give me like 1,000,000 to 1 odds, and I don't know if I'd waste $1 on Betch's chance. I mean, they say everyone has a puncher's chance, and maybe she aggravated Rousey to the point where she loses her cool, but she was pretty mad at Miesha Tate and beat her down pretty handily, so I see this as a repeat, and I'll reign the champion.
Yeah. James?
You know, it's different for Ronda this time around.
Yeah.
She obviously has been dominant over everybody that she's fought, but this is now personal. I don't know if you guys caught her interview with Jim Rome, but she said it's one thing for you to talk trash about my stablemates and my teammates and to subsequently beat them. When she went to the suicide thing, that kind of changed everything because Rousey, obviously, her family has had some history with suicide. Rousey, in her Jim Rome interview, said she doesn't want the fight to last longer than an Instagram video. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, there's a real distaste here. And these are the fights that I love. These are the ones that I really get into because you can tell. I think, honestly, Ronda probably wants to hurt her a little bit.
Right.
Not badly, but...
Real animosity between the two. Ed?
I got to say this. I think it doesn't take much to rile up Ronda Rousey anyway. One article I read described her as pathologically aggressive, and I would agree with that. Correia is a striker. I just don't see that she's going to have anything to strike. Ronda Rousey, the mental game that she has with people, until you make her uncomfortable and do things that she's not used to, the game is over. I mean, it really is before it even starts because she's that intimidating.
No, it's definitely the truth. So does anyone think it's going to go past the first round?
No.
Any chance?
First minute.
Yeah. And
48 seconds.
And do you think she's going for the armbar or KO? I think she's going to go for the KO. She's going to try to make her pay.
The only reason it may go longer than 1 round is if Ronda wants it to.
Mm-hmm. And you definitely had a point about, the whole suicide comment and how personal it actually got for Ronda Rousey, because ever since that moment, we've seen just almost this anger.
Oh, yeah.
Even in interviews at the ESPYs, for instance, the anger she, pointed at.
Could you believe
Floyd,
she took her focus to
Floyd
another
Mayweather.
level?
Right. You'd think that's like Super Saiyan 8. You didn't know that level existed, but nonetheless, I think this is destruction. And Ronda Rousey, easily one of the most favorites going into the fight. Highest favorite ever, I think, and rightfully so. We stay with Ronda Rousey. Miesha Tate defeated Jessica Ai over the weekend, and it now sets up a potential Miesha Tate versus Ronda Rousey 3. Micah, are these just the 2 best women at that weight class? And Rousey is obviously maybe a couple of levels above Miesha Tate. So
right now, today, 2 best, far and above. There's a group. She beat McMahon. Tate has had much harder fights to get back to another title shot than Correia did running her mouth getting to a title shot. Tate has proved herself and has proved to be a level above. There's Ronda, there's Miesha, and then there's a whole pack that people are trying to break out of, and they're not evolving out of it. And I think that Miesha Tate starts too slow, like she did against Jessica Ai, and she's going to get worked by Ronda too.
Yeah. Ed, again, the third fight here.
I would agree with that, but if you look at Miesha Tate last weekend against Jessica Ai, she had to come back. Jessica Ai gave her some problems. Miesha Tate came back. Again, I think Michael's right about that. They are the 2 best fighters in that division, but 2 fights, one ended in 48 seconds, the other one ended in 118, I believe. I mean, if that's the 2 best, if that's all that there is for Ronda Rousey, that doesn't really give me a lot of hope that Miesha Tate can beat her in the 3rd fight.
Yeah, James?
I think it's hard-pressed to say that those are the two best female fighters in the world. Maybe the two best female fighters in the UFC, but I mean, what about Cyborg? I mean, that's always going to be looming on, it's going to be a discussed topic until Ronda and her get in there, because I think that's the one woman on the planet, if they can figure out the weight differential, that legitimately has a chance to give Ronda some problems. Her aggressiveness and her, just that mean streak that she has, I think could rattle Ronda.
Yeah, and it's the weight issue that you mentioned between Rousey and Cyborg. That's why I feel that fight will never happen, because I don't think Ronda is. If you want to beat me, if you want to beat the best, you come down to mine. Right? Yeah, you come to me.
Ronda has talked about wanting that fight as her retirement fight, so she's done a lot for the sport. If that's what she really wants, you never know what could happen.
All right, we're in the last round here, so I'll take a little bit of this time. But I mean, as far as this fight, I don't think we have a choice whether we want to watch it or not. If Miesha Tate has proven herself with 4 consecutive victories, she's earned that spot again. And who is anybody to say, you know what, you don't deserve that fight? She earned him, especially of how well she looked against Jessica Eye. I personally thought Jessica Eye was going to win that.
You called that one, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I thought Jessica Eye would win that fight, and I don't think it was necessarily that close. And Miesha Tate is proving she's, I guess, above everyone else. I just don't know, who else, or if anyone will ever come close to Ronda Rousey. I don't think that's actually the case. We jump on into the next topic. We move on to boxing. Gennady Golovkin, David Lemieux is headed to pay-per-view October 17th. How do you feel about this fight being on pay-per-view? And how do you feel about this fight going down?
Oh, I'll pay for this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are both, fans on and off the air of Triple G. We're big fans of his. I'm excited about the fight. I do think Lemieux is a little bit overmatched, although I do think the fight is going to be exciting. If you're going to put together a pay-per-view card, put something, together that people would want to pay for, this I would want to pay for. And normally I just, try to make sure I'm at the event or something so I don't have to pay for it. So for me, this is good.
It's definitely good. And I think a lot of people want to see a solid undercard. One, what do you think of the fight and needing a solid undercard for this pay-per-view to sell?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The master of the pay-per-view buys or talks about it all the time is Mike Adams, so I'm interested to see what he has to say about that on Saturday. But I think one of the things that you mentioned this on Combat Sports a couple weeks ago, that this was going to be a fight that's going to be happening, and here it is. Oscar De La Hoya thinks Lemieux has a solid chance, thinks he can knock him out with either hand. We've been wanting to see someone test Golovkin, and this is going to be the guy to do it, I think.
Yeah, and it's early prediction. We don't know what these guys look in training camp yet, but are you going?
I got Triple G. I got Triple G until someone shows me otherwise. I got Triple G.
Yeah, I think this is a fight that we've been telling you as the MMA guy that you have to check out. So after seeing highlights of these two guys, what do you think?
I've been watching highlights for like 2 hours over the last couple of days, and I'm like, yay. This looks exciting. To me, this looks like the fight that, should do the million pay-per-view buys, should do the Mayweather, Pacquiao numbers, because this looks like the action is going to be brought. Those highlights, I'm like, wow, I got to watch, hours where it's just sitting there, and they were highly intriguing. They both come forward, both using angles, both seem to have a lot of pressure, like to get their guys in corners. 2 bulls, no matador. Sounds like a great fight to me.
69 fights between the two, 61 KOs, and that's including the 2 losses that David Lemieux has had.
It's going to be a decision. Watch. Watch. Just to throw everybody off.
Just to surprise it. If it's a decision, I hope it's one of the best fights of the century.
I wonder what the odds are in Vegas, that it's not a knockout.
Yeah, the odds, I tried to look them up this morning before we came on. I still haven't seen the odds, but I don't see Golovkin. Golovkin, I assume, would be a 4-1 or 5-1 favorite, and Lemieux maybe a 3-1 or 4-1 underdog. But Lemieux is a live dog just because of the KO power, and people underestimate his ability to be able to box as well, as is the case for Gennady Golovkin. So this is just a match of complementing styles that could potentially be one heck of a fight.
Get it done.
So again, that one goes down October 17th. It's a fight that we're all hyped about. I'm sure we'll keep talking about it. But that'll do it for our 3 topics. We'll see you guys next week.